Our next story comes from Siliguri, a city in West Bengal known as the gateway to the Northeast India. We need to understand what is driving the future of Siliguri and the plans of the new government. Since the new government came to power, people have started hoping for a better development of the city. If we look at the international trade towards the east, Siliguri could become one of the best strategic options. So let us discuss why Siliguri is becoming one of the most talked about cities for future. Siliguri is no longer just a transit town. It is becoming India's next strategic gateway city, a city many people pass through, but few truly understand. For decades, the nation ignored it. The CPIM and Mamata government overshadowed it. Past government treated it like a corridor instead of future megacity. But now that is changing. Infrastructure investments were concentrated elsewhere for years despite being the gateway to the Northeast India. Siliguri lacked world-class roads, aviation, infrastructure, logistic park, and international connectivity. But that perception may soon become outdated because today Siliguri is quietly transforming into one of India's most strategically important cities. And New Delhi has finally started paying attention. For decades, Siliguri remained politically and economically underutilized despite of its unmatched location. The city connects mainland India to the entire northeast through the Siliguri corridors, also known as the chicken snake. This narrow stretch of land, barely 20 kilometers wide at certain points, is one of India's most sensitive geopolitical joints. Everything passed through it: trade, military logistics, fuel supply, tourism, national connectivity. Yet, for years, Siliguri lacked the infrastructure expected from a city of such importance. Successive governments focused heavily on Kolkata, while North Bengal remained comparatively neglected. But now that equation is beginning to change under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. Broader infrastructure and northeast connectivity have become national priority, and that naturally places Siliguri at the center of India's eastern growth strategy. The biggest example is Bagdogra Airport. For years, Bagdogra struggled with overcrowding and limited infrastructure despite serving North Bengal, Sikkim, Bhutan, and parts of Nepal. In short, Bagdogra is being prepared for the future. And that future is international. Look at Siliguri's geography. Nepal is next door, Bhutan is nearby, Bangladesh is connected through trade routes, China's Tibet region is accessible through Nathula, and Southeast Asia remains part of India's larger Act East vision. Few Indian cities have this kind of strategic positioning. Now combine geography with connectivity. The Asian highway network passes through this region, and perhaps for the first time, policymakers are beginning to understand that Siliguri is not just a city, it is an economic gateway. Darjeeling MP Raju Pista has repeatedly highlighted this transformation narrative. Unlike earlier political approaches that focus only on hill politics, Raju Pista has consistently pushed the idea of Siliguri as a future commercial and infrastructural hub, whether it is airports modernization, railway expansion, tourism infrastructure, or highway development. The political messaging from the BJP has become very clear. And this aligned directly with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's larger vision of Eastern connectivity and Northeast integration. The BJP understands one thing very clearly: the future of India's Eastern trade and connectivity cannot depend only on Kolkata. Siliguri has advantages that very few Indian cities possesses. It connects countries Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Northeast India, and potentially Asian market in the future. This is why many analysts now compare Siliguri not with the smaller Indian cities but with emerging regional commercial hubs. In fact, Siliguri's economical model resembles a logistic-driven gateway economy, a city that grows because of movement of goods, movement of people, movement of trade, and the opportunities are enormous. Imagine the possibilities 10 years from now. Passengers from Bhutan using Bagdogra for international flights to Bangkok or Singapore. Cargo movement between Bangladesh, Nepal, and Northeast India routed through Siliguri. And Siliguri has another major advantage: tourism. Few commercial cities in India are surrounded by world-class famous hill destinations: Darjeeling, Gangtok, Kalimpong, the Doers. This gives Siliguri a dual economic engine: tourism and trade. Then comes history, and the future is geopolitical. Look at the map: Nepal to west, Bhutan to north, Bangladesh to the south, China through Tibet and Nathula to the northeast. Few Indian cities have this level of strategic positioning. Now combine that with connectivity. Asian Highway 2 passes through Siliguri region. Major railway network connected it to every corner of eastern India. Many people do not realize that Siliguri was once a small settlement connected to the Kingdom of Sikkim. Its transformation began after the Treaty of Sugauli in 1816 and accelerated during British rule with the tea industry and railway expansion. The Darjeeling Himalayan Railway changed the region's economic destiny. Today, another transformation may be beginning. Only this time, the scale is much bigger. The question now is not whether Siliguri can grow. It already is. The real question is whether India is finally ready to turn Siliguri into full-scale international gateway city. Because if infrastructure investment continues, infrastructure creates cities. Look at Bangalore, look at Gurgaon, look at Hyderabad. 20 years ago, they were not global commercial centers. Today, they are. And Siliguri may be entering that phase right now, especially because of India's northeast is changing rapidly. Trade routes are shifting, supply chains are moving, Asian connectivity is becoming a national priority. India wants stronger access to Southeast Asia. A multinational company opens a warehousing hub here because land costs are still lower than in metro cities. Questions that once sounded ridiculous are now being asked seriously. Will Siliguri get a metro someday? Could skyscrapers rise near Matigara and New Jalpaiguri? Can Bagdogra become an international aviation hub? Could Siliguri become Eastern India's logistic capital? The answer may surprise people. Yes, it is possible because geographically is destiny. And Siliguri's geography is unmatched: tea, tourism, trade, and in the next 10 to 15 years, this city could witness the biggest transformation in its modern history. The question is no longer whether Siliguri matter. The real question is India finally ready to invest in the city that connects half a continent? For further such update, keep watching the Sikkim Today.